Reload. Ready?
Yeah.
You look ready.
What is going on? It's Sunday night. That means this is at Week's End, the spoiler-filled look back at this week in comics and more. And there's some things to talk about. And we're going to do that right after this intro. Go ahead, hit the thumbs up, subscribe to the channel. Let's go. What's up, Paul?
What's going on? How's it going?
Pretty good, pretty good. It's hot. It's hot.
Yes, very hot.
Over 100 degrees today with the heat index. It was not fun to work in, but I'm inside now, and that's a little bit better. A little bit. We have the AC off right now because it was acting a donkey earlier while I was at work. No, it was just fans. But luckily, I was in 100+ degree heat, so it feels great in here.
Yeah. Plus, I mean, when you're working with animals that are just covered in hair, it's tough to feel bad. It's tough to feel bad for yourself, right?
Yeah. They sweat. Those coats keep them cool. At least that's what I hear. It's not 100 degrees where they are, but when you're inside and outside, it gets rough.
I know. I don't know how they do it.
Real rough.
I get it. Oh, that's funny.
Anyways, be sure to check out Big Time Collectibles. They sponsor the channel. They're the homies. Phenomenal stuff they got going on because it's con season, so they're dropping exclusives after exclusives. Also, they did the Sonic exclusive for us to take to Heroes Con. We do have a few extra copies left over. You can find those at the djlinks.bigcartel.com or go to the Comics Curing Cancer Instagram page. Go to the bio. Hit the link in the bio, take you everywhere you need to go. And we have a limited number of the art books left as well. If you buy them together, you can save a little bit of money.
Hey, bundle them and, save yourself a couple bucks.
Save. That's right. And there's
Flo taught me that.
We did get some signed pieces from Austin before he left. So we put some signed ones on there as well. So if you didn't get an opportunity to get his signature, now you have the opportunity to acquire his signature. C3 is doing amazing. It's doing amazing. The con was a huge success. We're officially past $12,000 in the campaign. So trying to gain some momentum, getting us to the big event, the big 3-day event. But
it'll be here before you know it.
It really will. That's nerve-wracking. We're about to switch gears and get into the outreach part of Comics Curing Cancer, where we start begging for people's help. Professionally, though. Professionally begging for people's help. Because it doesn't work without everybody helping. True team effort. Say hey to some people in the chat. What is going on, Las Cruces? Good to see you in here. Pop, what's up, big guy? And we got Scotty. What's happening? What's happening? Phil, hello. Carlito, hello to you. What is going on? ABX said hello to everyone. Did well at Joe Fest, but had car trouble after I got there and car trouble before trying to leave. It was over at 3 p.m. Just got back to the store. Dang, he had rental truck issues getting there too. That's wild. No, I see what you did there, Paul. What is going on, Remy? Good to see you. Hello, Trev. What's up? Aggressively relaxing. Hello, our friends. Hello. 60K, let's go. Yo, chill out. The goal is we're at 100 here. Yeah, it's rough. Yeah, I got to get this AC thing figured out ASAP. We'll see. Luckily, the kids wanted to stay with my mom tonight. Before that even happened, I came home from lunch. Everything was fine. Then when I was at work, the wife called me and says, I think the AC stopped working. I said, what? She goes, it's blowing what feels like hot air. I said, well, turn it off immediately. What is going on, Kenny B? How are you tonight? Gearing up for that House of Dragons at 9 Fire. This is the house that Pimps built for Legends, though Legion. What is going on, Collecting with Durs? Yeah, we're going to talk a little bit of House of Dragons tonight. The counter program to this show, House of Dragons. Oh, got to set a goal. Yeah, we did. We did set a goal. You need to chill out. It's 50. The goal is 50. You need that number for a good AC man. I have one. I have a personal AC man. I actually hit him up right before I started streaming. But if he doesn't answer, I will hit you back, Sledge, for sure. That's why we use window units. Pass on the window units. It is a banger, LOL. House of Dragons is phenomenal. Yeah. What is going on, Digger Jim? Hello to you. Hello. So yeah, if y'all missed it, be sure to check out the Comics Curing Cancer stuff. If you didn't get yourself already, go ahead and grab that. And I'm going to point this out too and show everybody we're getting close to the end of the month. All those channel members that are in the Legion tier that are in for the Legion loot, it's pretty big. It's pretty big time to be in the Legion loot. So I got these books. I'm just going to flip through them real quick and show y'all where it's at right now because I keep adding stuff to it. So it's in celebration of Deadpool. That was the whole theme. It'll be the first Sunday of next month. So not next Sunday, but the one after that. We'll draw the winner, the channel member appreciation person. So
July
of course,
7th.
Yeah, July 7th. There we go. Numbers. We've got the New Mutants 98 reprint. So you have a good reader copy. The New Mutants 98 foil reprint. So you have a good shiny copy. Of course, we have the New Mutants 98 original. So you have his actual first print, first appearance of Deadpool, Gideon, Copycat, all that good stuff, which is the big book in there. Then we got that Just Go trading card cover, which is glorious. Then we have some big time collectibles book, including their Deadpool Taco Time variant, which is pretty dope. Little 8-bit action, some John Jang goodness from Big Time Collectibles. It's a 316 homage with Miles there. Some Tyler Kirkham Star Wars.
Very nice.
We got a foil Flash in there. Flash number 1. Don't read it though. And then we got some signatures in here. We have Ghost Machine number 1 signed by Jeff Johns. Sign right there. And then we have Geiger number 1 signed by Jeff Johns. Sign right there. Then we got Rook number 1 signed by Jeff Johns. Sign right there. All those have the certificate of authenticity. Then Junkyard Joe, the Coliseum of Comics, Paul's LCS. They're exclusive of Junkyard Joe number 1 by Brad Anderson, who's the colorist for all these things. And then because of all the speculation and all the stuff, we got a good Marvel Comics Presents with the Weapon X there, with Wolverine in the movie. And then I just have had this for a long time, waiting on Dazzler to do something or not do something. But this is it. This is where she does or doesn't do something. I love movie photo covers. And this is just really cool. It's a really cool photo cover. It's like a throwback, old school one. And you get the shameless secret of Dazzler's past. So that's good to know. That's really good to know. And then probably, if not for certainly, the most controversial artist in comic books as of this week, who produced the best cover of the year. It's up in the air how he did it, but Space Ghost number 2, the Virgin foil, like that's just insane. Such a cool cover. I should have waited till after this week to pick this up because this was an expensive book to get. But that's going in there so y'all can burn it, keep it. I'm keeping mine.
By the artist who shall not be named.
Oh, it's Mattina.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I'm gonna know. That's Mattina. He photoshopped that beautiful cover.
We should talk about him.
Yeah, and then to add on to it, I've got this Hot Wheels Deadpool scooter that's signed by Rob Liefeld, remarked by Rob Liefeld, and chiseled by Rob Liefeld. So that's going in there as well. So if you never had a signature or a remark from him or his famous chisel, it's all in there. Boom, on a die-cast Deadpool scooter. Boom. Yeah, that's super cool. Yeah, I got that straight from Rob Liefeld.
Nice.
So there's that. So that's where it's at right now. It looks pretty decent to me.
Are you not doing the original art anymore?
Thank you for reminding me. Art. This one from Carrie Descartes, Deadpool artist. I've had this for over a year, waiting on this movie to come out. But yeah, the original art is going in there from Deadpool artist Jerry Descartes. So I had he was at ABX Comics and Games doing a meet and greet and drawing and signing and stuff. And I got a Superman for myself, and he's the Deadpool artist. I got a Deadpool for the Legion Loot giveaway. So yeah, appreciate that, Paul. Yeah, that's pretty wicked. He's a great artist.
Mm-hmm.
Probably should go ahead and get that thing like a top loader or something and keep it out so I remember it. I forget. Space Ghost cost me so much money. Amazing covers. Yeah, some really, really good covers. I like them A covers. Ghost Machine books are freaking amazing. Absolutely. I don't know. You have to read it and find out.
Mm-hmm.
Central AC units average $5,900 with prices varying by size and efficiency. Window units are $150 each on average. Nice. Boom, 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 boom. Catching up. Look for Beckerman. He's not here. It's okay. I'm clueless. What did Mattina do? Yeah, we can go and jump right into that if y'all want. That's on the agenda to talk about. It's why the thumbnail is the image it is tonight. I wasn't able to be here last week because of Heroes Con and a lot of great books. I know that you and Brother John probably covered it. I missed it if you did.
We did.
I was in and out of that stream as I was like getting to the house and everything.
We showed his Superman cover that really kind of blew everything out of the water.
Yeah, and now since last week to this week, so he had his solicitations drop, and there was 4 covers that came out, 2 featuring Superman, 1 featuring Batman. No, yeah, two Superman, or was it 3 Superman and 1 Batman? Anyways, there's 3 or 4 of his covers that came out, and this Superman symbol on one of them sparked people's attention.
I loaded that to your. Is it still there? I loaded it to your thing last week.
Let's see.
It was an overlay.
No, it's not there. Did you clean it out? I didn't clean it out.
I didn't clean it out, but I did have to load it twice for some reason.
Sometimes it's slow.
Mm.
Let's see. Boop, 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 boop. Take 2 seconds to get. Let's see if this does it. So this Superman cover right here on this S, you can see the bottom of the S. It has a secondary yellow point on the bottom. So it has 2 bottoms. It has the bottom of the S and the bottom again. And that caught people's attention and started crying AI and pointing out that he's most likely using AI to put some of these together. People are accusing Mattina of using AI-generated software.
Yes. And even before the AI stuff, he didn't have a real good reputation of actually not just tracing other people's covers in the first place. So
that's a stretch. I went down the rabbit hole of looking at the accusations for years. And sometimes it hits the point where you're like, yo, there's only so many poses like that you're doing. You know what I mean? There's only so many ways to perch on a building, or I don't know.
It was definitely alleged. I always say alleged because
the one that like I was like, dude, that's not the same. Like it's the Flash compared to Nova.
Mm-hmm.
Like the arms are different, the back legs are different, the body's like not this way, it's like slightly this way. So like the angles different. Like this, they're just coming slightly off center at you. Right. You know what I mean? And the Flash's arms aren't like this. Like he's running. Like it's. Like, yeah, similarities, but like if you put them over each other, it's not the same image.
Mm-hmm. Right. I mean, the AI, to me, that's almost kind of like you really can't argue that. But
yeah, the AI, and this is interesting because I had so what's important this week versus last week to the whole thing is the allegations had an outcome, a partial outcome. There's no official statement from DC Comics yet. Everyone's waiting on that. But one thing that we have been able to see from the access that we have as fans, as consumers, as shoppers, is we can see the solicitations have changed. Where Mattina had like 6 books he was listed for?
At least 6, yeah. He had covers like the next 3 or 4, and the next 3 Superman. He had a variant cover for each one. Those have all been either resolicited to somebody else or now they're TBD. He had
determined.
Yeah, he had one on the Brave and the Bold that was now given to Carrie Randolph. He had one on the Dark Knights of Steel All Winter that has been moved to somebody else. So yeah, there was at least 6 different ones. What's that?
Yeah, and the one that they've already announced, that was a cover that was prepared and ready for Brave and the Bold that was supposed to be coming out the following month or two. They just moved it up since they had it. So again, no formal verdict on anything if the guy still has a job or not or anything, but they have taken action. Like there's like it wasn't something they could just be like, oh, this is fine. There was clearly a problem. And then I was speaking to somebody, an artist, a professional artist who uses digital art, original art, all these things. And this artist is very aware of Mattina and how long Mattina has been arting, and Mattina's art style. This image behind us, you can see this kind of art from him today, with all like whether he's doing it digitally, whether he's using like artificial intelligent like software. But this art looks just like this. Or you can rewind the clock a decade ago and you can see this exact art the same without those artificial intelligence softwares even existing. So he's consistently been putting out the same exact style art, which he does draw also. The guy like knows how to legitimately draw. But something was explained to me about the data set, which is the big information dump that went into the computers that feeds AI. When you ask AI to do something, it pulls it from the data set. And when they were building the data set, all of the established artists at the time, and this isn't limited to comic books, we're just talking about that part of it, all the established people of the time, their work was loaded into the data set, like every artist that you can think of from comic books at the time, because the more information they had, the better their software program was. Mattina was one of the people that got loaded into the data set on day one, along with legends, like Alex Ross and George Perez and Neil Adams and all the other modern day artists that had an actual portfolio that could be loaded in there. So someone pointed out to me, it's interesting to think too, and it's almost gets paradoxical. Like if you were, because all these people were not asked to be put in the data set, they just took their stuff and put it in there. So in theory, Alex Ross could go open an artificial intelligence software and ask it to produce an Alex Ross image of X, Y, or Z, and it can produce it. Then he can go on top of it, and like all right, well, there's my preset. And I like, so at what point is he cheating, or what point like he's using his word? It gets weird. It gets real weird. It's all unknown territory. Needless to say, you cannot. I don't want to say dishonestly. You gotta be upfront with like AI stuff.
Yeah.
You gotta be upfront with it. And there's places that have rules.
Yeah, and one of the biggest, there's the whole ethical part of AI that you're claiming it's yours, but it's really a combination, or they're bringing in other people's work. But one of the biggest problems for like DC and, Marvel cut ties with him years ago, I think. But one of the biggest problems with DC is if they're using AI, is who actually owns that image. Because if it's just if it's 50% Mattina and 25% Ross and 25% Perez, who actually owns that image?
And not even just that, like if you're generating AI images,
right,
anyone can generate that image as well with the proper keystrokes.
Right.
Like whereas when you're working for these companies, especially Marvel or DC, they own that artwork that you are producing. You're being paid to give them something for them to own. I just want someone to show me an example of them doing what he does easily and quickly. I would like to see that too. I don't think it exists. I don't think it exists. What I want to see happen, though, to be all honest with you, like it's no secret I love Mattina's work. No secret for me. It hurts my heart to know that he could lose his career. It also hurts my heart to know that that he was using AI software. That I think what I want to see happen is like a slap on the wrist, live and learn kind of thing here. Like, yo, the rules, you can't use AI. Like, for one, DC should be running all their digital artists through an AI detection software. That should be day one stuff for these companies. Like, you're not running all your stuff through AI detection software. And that's what the person I was talking to asked if I had heard if they ran it through the software yet. Cause I shared with them where like the solicitations changed. And It blows my mind that this guy's been doing this well before this stuff. So he's more than capable of it. Absolutely love his work, and I don't want to see him lose a career over this. I want to see him not do it again over this kind of thing.
Yeah, I bought his cover for Gotham by Gaslight, the Kryptonian Age.
That's insane.
Mhm.
Insane. Let's see what we got. Also, love using AI to take the pictures of my neighbors and then making pictures of robbing banks. I love Mattina too, but you got to earn your missteps. Yeah, 1000%. That's what I'm saying. I want him to. There's no denying it. Like from where I'm sitting, it looks apparent. Like just don't make excuses, but tell the truth. And I bet the truth sounds like something like I was way behind. I had X, Y, or Z going on. I had to get something out, and I used it as a stepping stone. Like put the image up, tweak an image, and then I start working over it. Like it's a modern day tool of light boxing at this point. People used to light box other people's art, like all the way back into the 60s and stuff. You can find artists taking literally flipping through and pulling panels out of Jack Kirby's work and just taking the background characters and using them in theirs and just changing the suits and altering them just slightly and stuff. I mean, it's just a modern day version of that. But it's crazy that there was that that apparent, you know what I mean? On the Superman symbol of all things.
Yeah.
Like the first thing when you see a Superman picture, the first thing you see is that symbol, no matter what's going on.
That's the thing. That's one of the things that John and I talked about last week is whatever he did, he shouldn't have done if he's using AI. But there are people, even you don't necessarily have to run that through an AI detection thing to know that that's not correct. Okay, whoever the editor of the book is that approved that cover to be on the cover, whoever puts those solicitations together and put that out there for solicitations, a couple people were sleeping at the wheel the way I look at it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's rough. Yeah, I'm more like it's comic books when it's all said and done. This is comic books. Now there's people out there itching to break in. And I've seen a lot of comments like, wow, there's all these people out there, these massively talented individuals just working their butts off to break into this hobby. You have Mattina doing this. Well, yeah, that's terrible. But also keep in mind, this dude broke in forever ago and has put in the work and all this and that. Like it's, I just don't want to see this dude fired over this. Like, I don't know. I'm not the biggest digital art fan, but like I love his stuff. There's just like a couple of folks that I just really like their stuff, and he's one of them. I have Mattina books that are displayed in my house with like my Batman '89 stuff. Even like it's my little like display book in the toy piece thing up there. Well, we'll see. Interested to see where this all goes, but also talking about variant comics specifically. Marvel has a very interesting format that they do with their and then we find out that the AI detection software is ran by an AI. It is it's not a secret. But Marvel has a very awesome way that they do variants, like for their direct market stuff, like the stuff that you find on the shelves at any of your local comic shops. They have a theme that they do every month, like how they've been doing the Joe Jusko trading cards, or they're doing like the disco theme with the Dazzler or whatever. Coming up in what month is it, Paul?
September.
Godzilla raids Marvels. So across the Marvel titles, there will be Godzilla variants, which is super exciting.
You want to see what titles?
If you got it, pull it up. Yeah, who watches the Watchmen exactly?
20 different titles.
All right, that's too small for me to see. You're going to have to read it off.
So we got Exceptional X-Men number 1, Dazzler number 1, Uncanny X-Men number 2, X-Men number 4, Phoenix number 3, Avengers number 18, Deadpool number 6, Venom number 37, Avengers Annual number 1, Amazing Spider-Man number 58, Spider-Boy number 11, Spider-Gwen, the Ghost Spider number 5, Miles Morales, Spider-Man number 24, Vengeance of the Moon Knight number 9, Captain America number 13, Fantastic Four number 25, the only one Mark's getting, Incredible Hulk number 17, Immortal Thor number 15, Scarlet Witch number 4, and Daredevil number 13.
There wasn't a Ghost Rider on there?
Nope.
So I'm only getting one. Well, dang it.
Mm-hmm.
Dang it. I was excited to see like Ghost Rider riding up his spine or something. So yeah, I'll be getting the Hulk one. It's man, it's so hard to not want to get all of them, but then I remember like that's a lot of money, that's a lot of unnecessary spending for books I'll just put into a box and forget about. The Hulk book is a for sure though. That I hope it's like the Hulk flying through the air at him, getting ready to punch him or something. It'd be super cool. Super duper cool. Up here's Brian LCS coming in with our reminder. The 2024 CBC award nominations are now open. Visit cbcawards.org to nominate your favorites today. For those that don't know, the CBC Awards are the annual comic book community awards right here on YouTube, hosted by Brian LCS. You go to that little website he dropped there, and you go vote in a bunch of different fun categories for your favorite YouTube channels or YouTube channels you enjoy. There's different categories like unboxing, collaborative videos, all kinds of different stuff, and it's tiered by subscriber counts, of statue unboxing, cleaning impressors, reviewers, stuff like that. I've got a couple of them from last year that I won. So big thank you to everybody who voted and nominated. I haven't done mine yet. I'll do them eventually for sure. But yeah, and keep in mind, they're meant to be fun. I can't stress that enough.
Yes.
I cannot stress that enough. Some people take these things so serious, super duper serious, which is super duper cool and all that. But remember, it's supposed to be for fun. Was it 2 years ago? Because you do the nominations, then they'll gather the finalists out of the open nominations. Then you vote for the finalists. Then they do the actual announcing the winners. What's it called? Like they just announce the winners in a big live stream thing. And I think it was like 2 years ago that live stream, the big finale where the CBC award winners announced and all that. It started with Brian in a robe lip syncing. So don't take it too serious. Have fun. Go find some new channels on there by checking some of the stuff out, and support the ones that you really enjoy by voting for them.
Yeah, I think wasn't it last year that we had Brian living in a van down by the river, I think.
Could have been. Good grief. What is going on, buddy? How are you? If you're talking about the Godzilla variants, those will be available at any and all comic shops. Those are just standard.
They're open to order, so if you want them, just ask your LCS to go ahead and order them for you. So
yeah, this is kind of weird. So I don't know if they're just licensing him or what, but the Godzilla #1, the first appearance of Godzilla comic book, the #1 thing, it's getting a reprint coming out soon with a foil option as well.
Yep.
So Godzilla's just hot.
Yeah, although to your point, I would rather get a second volume of Godzilla, Justice League versus Godzilla versus Kong.
Absolutely.
And
also,
Warner Brother does the movies, so
legendary.
Right.
And to your point, we do have a second volume of Here There Be Dragons, the Son of Giants starts next week as well. I'm super excited for that. And Naki Miranda crushed the art on it. I can't remember who wrote it, but that book was an anomaly. Couldn't scream its praises loud enough. How come none of the 3D printer guys have started competing with toy manufacturers? Feels like a small situation to AI and art. I never thought about that. I don't know.
Exactly. It's not a quick process to make one of those things, is there? It takes a while for those 3D printers to print things out, doesn't it?
Yeah. And
it's not like you can mass produce them.
I know, like the detail, like with the McFarlane stuff, they have to make some high detail statues and then make molds of those statues and then make the pieces and stuff. And I remember in an interview a long time ago where someone's like, Todd, how do you make these figures so detailed, so lifelike? He's like, we just keep going till the mold's right. If we do it, the mold's not right, we crack it, we just put more detail and go in again and again and again and again until it's right. I just bought the original Godzilla. No reprints. Well, there you go. And you got that Taskmaster book finally. 3D printing is competing, but not on the same level. I don't know what kind of toys 3D printed. My kids get little 3D printed animal things that kind of just like move around and stuff. They don't have joints; they're just kind of interlocked loosely. But you can check out my Joe Fest video that comes out this week and see them buying some of those. In that video, if you're a channel member, it's already available. Boom! What is going on, Beckerman? Is the week ended already? We're working on it. We're working our way through it. We're getting there. So, yeah, you got here just after the Mattina conversation, so that was good timing, Becker. Good timing. But yeah, are you planning on picking up any of the Godzilla variants? Any of them?
I might. I'm nothing really. None of the titles really call out to me. So
Yeah, there's none that I'm like going in blind saying I got to get that one, other than the Hulk one because it's just going in my Hulk run.
yeah, so far they've only released 2 of the covers so far. So they
And
released
they're
Daredevil and
underwhelming.
Thor.
Very underwhelming.
Hmm.
Yeah. We'll see. We'll see where it goes. We have some brand new set photos dropping. And when I say some, I mean a lot. Like it's excessive. This is the most unlocked down set that's ever existed in the history of cinema. And that's none other than James Gunn's Superman. We've seen photos of them building the Daily Planet globe going on the front of the building. We've seen photos of the Kent farm. We've seen set photos today with them filming on the street with what looks like what will be vehicles of some sort, crafts or something. They're just, they're the green screen boxes with ramps going to them and stuff.
Yeah, one of them looks like it's Mr. Terrific's ship. I saw one of those.
I missed that one. That's cool. Some Michael Holt goodness.
Mm-hmm.
But the big thing, and man, this is wild. This is absolutely crazy. So people were already critical enough of the first photo we got of Superman because he's sitting on the chair, all this and that, and everyone's like, where was the iconic pose? Why is he putting on sock shoe? Why is he just sitting there? While like they were over analyzing and overthinking this still photo, and then we got our second and third image of Superman this week, and it was on set. They took a picture of like the newspaper dispensers that would be on the street, on the sidewalk, and there's newspapers in them, and on the front page are 2 separate newspapers featuring Superman, one of which looking like this with the Man of Steel stopping what looks like a bullet train.
Mm-hmm.
Superman stops MTA rail from running off the tracks. You can see the Daily Planet logo there. It's pretty cool. But that's pretty cool. But you get a better shot of him in the other one from the Metropolis Eagle. Superman saves 20 after downtown building collapse. So what's interesting in this, and you might not have a best picture of it right here, but you can go find it online fairly easy. The trunks are in like full display here. You get an iconic pose, but it's still a grainy photo on a newspaper, and then a photo of that. It's kind of, so it's not like real high def or anything like that, but you can see that the trunks, you can see the cut of the trunks where they're more like shorts versus the V cut. They're more like straight cut trunks, which I thought was pretty interesting. But while I'm excited to see photos of them, I feel like they're watering down the reveal. Where's just the high def dun da da? You know what I mean? Like, give us the dun da da. Where's the dun da da?
We deserve our dun da da.
Yeah, so I'm wondering like if this is I don't know, man. I think they're taking their own juice away from this. You know what I mean? Oversharing it, showing everything, and just I don't know. Where you stand on the?
I mean, it definitely is a different. I mean, if you remember back with Man of Steel, the first shot we got of him was in front of the safe.
Holy
the safe
crap.
exploding, right?
Holy crap!
Which was huge. That was great. But I think he just does. James Gunn just does things differently, and he's like, he's still kind of that slow burn. You can kind of see, type of a thing, and
I mean, he's got to have some major ammunition he's holding back to kind of just like breadcrumb this out. It's like giving people puzzle pieces. Eventually, they have the puzzle. Like, oh, there's the image. We can figure it out halfway through it. I see what this is going to be, instead of just being shown a really cool Mattina image.
I don't want to tell you that, but that whole newspaper was created by AI.
Yeah, it was probably. And then, the Mania. Paul, you got this one?
Yeah, Chris Pratt was sitting obviously not on set. He was sitting behind the cameras and everything, and so um, people went absolutely crazy. It's like, okay, is he there because he's going to be doing something in the movie? Is he there because he's good friends with James Gunn, and James Gunn just invited him to hang out for a day or two or whatever? Or is he trying to learn? Does he have a desire to somehow at some point direct a movie, and he's trying to get tips and from James Gunn? It could be any or all of the three. Who really knows?
What do you think he was doing there?
I would think that he was just kind of. I think James Gunn is just they're friends, and he was just hanging out. So
Yeah, if my buddy was making a Superman movie, do you know where I'd be every chance I got?
hmm
On the
so
set of that movie.
exactly. If you let me show up, I'll sit there all day if I don't have anything I'm doing. So
Yeah, definitely down to hang out. Definitely. They also had a bunch of comic creators on set about a month ago. Scott Snyder, Joshua Williams, Jen Lee, to name a few. And that goes right into one of the other announcements. We speculated on that photo at the time. We talked about it and said, this looks like an all-star creative team. Absolute legends of DC Comics. And it was announced not long before that DC was starting its Absolute Comics imprint. And they made an announcement here this past week about that as well.
yes, San Diego Comic-Con, which is the last weekend of July. It is Scott Snyder is supposedly going to be announcing the Absolute Comics line at that point. Rumors this week are that at least he and Jason Aaron and Kelly Thompson will be three of the creators involved. Joshua Williamson just announced that he's leaving
Green Arrow.
Green Arrow and Batman and Robin, so that frees up thing. And if there's a lot of people who's ending their current runs
Ron
just
B.
right at September, so that something new could be starting in October. You have Ram V, Tom Taylor is ending his Nightwing at that point. I think we'll call Kelly Thompson, but we mentioned her. Teenie Howard, I think, may be doing so as well on some of hers. So, and a lot of those people were actually in that picture.
Yay to most of those.
Yeah.
Yay to most of those. Scott Snyder has been hitting it all over the place.
Yeah.
Nice.
And it's supposed to be. It's supposed to be its own thing, kind of like Ultimates, only it's going to be, there may be some interaction between the main DC universe and this Absolute universe as well. It's not going to be as walled off as Marvel tried to do with their Ultimate universe. So, at least although they may not cross over necessarily, they may at least acknowledge that there are other, them at some point. So
yeah, it's mad easy with DC because how interactive all the Earths are already.
Right.
I'm still continuing with Green Arrow, but it better not suck after Williamson leaves. Yeah, I'm gonna hang in there and see what it does as well. One that I'm not gonna hang in there with anymore is Shazam, because that book sucks. It was great when Mark Waid was on it. They did some important things for the character, but book wise, just hasn't really hit. Titans, I keep saying it. I'm ready to drop that one, but it can probably get better once Taylor leaves it. I love Tom Taylor as a writer. I'm not enjoying Titans though. As long as DC lets the creators create and not fill it with agenda-filled BS, kind of like what Marvel has done with a bunch of their titles. Yeah, Marvel has pretty much.
Yeah, and although Scott Snyder is kind of like show running it, supposedly he's going to be much more hands off and kind of let the creators do their thing. I wouldn't be surprised, since Mark Waid left Shazam, although he is doing Absolute Power, I wouldn't be surprised if he ends up writing a title as well. I would love to see him. He has always said that he wants to write a nice long Superman story.
That would be dope. It does seem kind of obvious too that we have a story, big mega summer blockbuster event, the first one in a long time, one that's literally years in the making, called Absolute Power. And by the time it's wrapping up, Absolute Comics will be starting. I'm hoping and wondering if they're going to actually have a narrative reason for the creation of the Absolute Comics Earth.
So if they then take those comics and put them in their big books, would it be called Absolute Power?
Yeah.
Because they actually have trademarked the title.
ACDC.
They actually have trademarked the title Absolute for their books.
Nice. So yeah, so we'll have ACDC, Absolute Comics and Detective Comics. It'll be interesting. Ultimate stuff is typically pretty fun. I'm not really digging a lot of the new stuff. I got issue 6 of Spider-Man over here. It'll be the last one that I pick up. I haven't read it yet, but I'll do the first. I got so much stuff on my pool list. That was long enough. If I hear it's amazing and ever get an itch to go back and read it, I can always go trade read it. I've been doing a lot of trade reading again lately, and I really love reading. And I just sit down and just read a whole trade in a sitting. It's just so much fun. So much fun. Titans will stay on my list forever. Hashtag Titan Life. That's how this guy is. Me, that one, I don't know. Every time I say I'm going to drop it, they put Amanda Waller in it. I'm like, all right, I'll stay for another one. And the last issue was the best one of the entire run so far.
Tom Taylor has not indicated he's leaving Titans. Just Nightwing.
I wish he'd indicate it. It's indicated already. I think Absolute Power will end with the creation of that universe. Yeah, it seems like it'd be a layup to do that. What is going on, House of X Entertainment? Good to see y'all in here today. Hope y'all are doing good. Enjoying all the vlogs y'all got going on. Y'all check them out. They do a lot of fun stuff. Watson and Leo just went to a cosplay con. Has A-Train and Cyclops. A lot of cool footage. A lot of fun stuff on their channel. Super cool stuff. Trades are easier to read, but I absolutely have to read Ultimate Spider-Man issue to issue. Yeah, I don't have to read Ultimate Spider-Man at all. That's where I'm. It's not bad, but it's not doing anything amazing at all. But I haven't read issue 6 yet. We'll see. What is going on, Comic Cap Collectibles? A lot of the books that I read that I keep on my pool list don't always do amazing stuff, but I don't know. I just don't feel too invested in the Ultimate Spider-Man stuff. We'll see where it goes. On other news, House of Dragons season 2 has started. I have spent the last week getting caught up, finished out season 1 because I'd never finished it. It's an amazing show, like an absolutely amazing show. So good. House of Dragons season 2 is counter programming us right this very second, but luckily everything exists on streaming now, so you just watch at your own discretion. I'm super duper excited to get all the way caught up on that. I'm in season 2, episode 1 right now. If y'all have not checked out this show, I highly suggest checking it out. I would definitely love to talk more about it with other people that have seen it. So that's definitely something that I'm going to be caught up on by next week for sure.
I can binge that now that I finished Silo. So,
holy crap, best show in the last decade. And season 2's coming. If y'all have never seen Silo, it's got Rebecca Ferguson in it. There you go. That's all you need to know. Go get it. Silo. Yeah, it's the way that, man, what a great murder mystery in a post-apocalyptic sci-fi mystery setting where just the existence itself is a mystery that you're trying to solve as well. God, it's good.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Silo was great. I was late to Silo. I watched. When did I got Apple TV when MonsterVerse came out?
Mm-hmm.
When they were released Monarch, I was like, I wasn't going to miss that, so I got it for that. And Austin LeMay and a few other people had told me about Silo a long time before then. So when I saw Rebecca Ferguson on there, I'm like, that's that show they told me about. So I watched the first episode and I couldn't stop watching it. Like from the time I started it, I'm like, I need to see what's next. Like, let me go eat real quick and go back to it. Like, it was insanely good. I haven't been that glued to a show in I don't know how long.
Mm. Yeah, it's definitely one of those. I was the same way. I'm watching it and I'm like, okay, I really got to get up early tomorrow morning, but I think I can fit in one more episode.
Yeah, one more. And the way every episode ends makes you want to just dive into the next one so fast. Right. And it's like such mundane things just seem so spectacular. Like when they get into that like sub level and the water's down there, like how much water is there? Like, why does it matter? Like, well, I want to know. It's not relevant, but it is right now to me. Like, it's just, it just seems so foreign. Severance was great as well. I haven't heard of that one. Was that on what streaming service is that on?
Not sure.
I feel you on this, Hydrus. Like we have Paramount Plus, Hulu, HBO, Netflix, Disney, and like I don't do commercials, so like it's all like the higher tier ones. It's on Apple. And so I'm about to cancel Disney and Hulu simultaneously, and then just because Kyle pointed out like there's the
bundle.
that, but I had them separately before they ever got bundled, so I need to cancel them and redo them under the bundle to save a little bit of money there. What is going on, Brother John? I miss you,
Aw.
Paul. Hope everyone is having an awesome night. Oh, shucks.
Stop.
I don't know if it's cheaper or not, but I think sub max.
Actually, Max and Disney are going to be doing a bundle together.
What?
Max, Disney, and Hulu. You'll be able to do all three, I believe. Yep.
I want to cancel all of them and bundle them because there's some things I'm not giving up. I'm never giving up Max. I love Max. Like it's not just TV, it's HBO. Like it's my favorite one there is. I watch the hell out of Paramount Plus. Like I love Paramount Plus, and Hulu has It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia, so I need it just for that, just that one thing. And I rewatch that show like it's nobody's business. If I'm ever like, I wonder what to watch, I don't try to figure it out. I just go watch It's Always Sunny, and I like watch it like limitlessly while I work, and because you just listen to it, and you can't do ads with It's Always Sunny. It's a slated for a 30-minute television spot, but on streaming they're going to put 5 commercial breaks in that are all like 2 ads a piece, and like I can't do that. Can't do that. Skinemax and Disney together makes sense. Yeah, it does, doesn't it? Well, that's sick. If I can bundle all 3, that'd be awesome. I need Hulu for SmackDown and Raw. I thought that was on the cock.
No. Well, yes, but they're like 3 months behind late. SmackDown and Raw is moving. Raw is moving to Netflix, and SmackDown is moving to USA.
So what's on Hulu?
Hulu. I mean, you can watch them, but you can watch the. But again, they're like, or at least they used to be able to. But I think they're only on Peacock now. I think.
Now is this like the Hulu Live function? Because I have or the Hulu TV function? Because like I have YouTube TV where it's like cable, where you can flip through channels and watch live television. And I know Hulu has like
Hulu has Hulu Live, yeah. But you would basically be in Hulu Live. You would be going to right now Fox to be watching SmackDown, and USA to be watching Raw.
Got you. Yes, I want to have Max. Hopefully, this deal brings it to Canada. Yeah, that'd be awesome. So Canada, Buddy Baker, this has got to be TM, right?
Yeah, you would think so. Yeah,
this has got to be TM. The cock has the rights for just the pay-per-view and other special events. Okay.
Plus, you can again, like 3 months later, you can watch SmackDown and Raw. But obviously, if you're watching the pay-per-views, I mean, you need to know what happened in the past 3 months in order to be caught up on what's going on in the pay-per-view.
Yeah, it makes perfect sense. Speaking of not knowing what's going on, the Acolyte episode. Oh my gosh. The last thing we're going to talk about tonight before we dive into some comic books is the most recent episode of the Disney Plus original Star Wars The Acolyte. It was episode 4 that released this week. The title of the episode was something I don't know, don't care. But
it was called episode 4.
I'm going to let Paul take this one.
Okay. Basically what happened was not a lot happened. Let me put that way. The whole group is now traveling to the planet where the Wookiee Jedi is, to try to make sure, because they think that he is next and they're planned to kill. They are traveling there to try to beat May and the Ezra Miller lookalike when they get there. The Ezra Miller lookalike and May get there first. She has this big thing where she has to kill him without using her lightsaber.
Without a weapon.
Without a weapon.
Because remember, the poison was considered a weapon even.
Right.
But the
So
killer
they
killed without a weapon, but
right.
yeah, go ahead.
They walk through the jungle. They manage to get to his place, but before they get there, May suddenly decides that she's not going to kill him after all. Meanwhile, all of the other people have followed them to so Saul and Yor and Osha and
OSHA.
all those other people have traveled to try to beat them to that they don't. They walk through the jungle. They see these huge, what to me, as soon as I saw them, looked like giant insects. Although they didn't apparently realize that they were giant insects until one actually moved.
They didn't even see it move.
Right, exactly. Uh, and it flew off and then came back, and Saul cut it in half, and they
Wait,
dealt with it. So, yeah, exactly.
I got
So,
this.
um, when May gets to the Jedi Wookiee, sorry, the Wookiee Jedi house, she finds that he's already dead. So he's already been killed. Which is really annoying because it would have been so cool to see Wookiee Jedi doing some stuff. And then the other group follows shortly afterwards. May's master ends up showing up there. There is basically like a minute and a half of a little bit of lightsaber stuff, and then that's where the episode ends. To
Yeah, they
me,
turn their flashlights on. They don't use their flashlights.
yeah, exactly. To me, the worst part of this episode, and we can talk about all the stuff, all the canon that is destroyed, all that other good stuff.
No need.
But
No
to
need.
me, the worst part of this episode is 95% of it was just boring.
Yeah, so for context, there's a few things that happen too. Before the Jedi get sent after May to go to go try to track her down and beat her on Kuthar, where the Jedi Wookiee was, who's gone radio silent for years. They know that May's going after him because he was part of the people that went to her home world and slaughtered her family, which they haven't shown you this yet. But the Jedi are the bad guys in this. They slaughtered her family. That's how that works. That guy is on radio silent, but they know where he lives. They don't know where, but they know where he lives, not where on the planet. So they've got to race go get him. So the Jedi meet up with some famous Jedi from the prequel being present on the screen, which that's where you get into the breaking the canon. We're not going to go down that rabbit hole because this show is shit without even getting into that. So
but quickly, he could not have been alive at that time.
No, it could not have been alive. But
they could have called him anything else than the name that they used.
Yeah, so like everyone's looking, like I was like, hey, it's one of those people, like I didn't even think it was the same guy. But then in the credits, they put his name in the credits. Like, what? And like, so you have this group of Jedi that are sitting around talking about May, pointing out she's clearly trained in the Force and this and that, and recognizing the threat level just from a little 2-second clip of her that they got, like, which is goofy in itself. But collectively, they decided not to tell the Jedi Council that we're going out to stop her and there's a rogue Sith out here, and they don't use the word Sith. Bad guy Jedi means Sith. That's what that is. Like that's how that works, people. And what killed me is, 2 weeks ago, people defending this were like, oh, they're keeping it a secret. That's how, like, this is going to be fine. Like, they keep it a secret from the council. That's why the council is not stupid for knowing that there's countless Sith out in the galaxy. But no, it's not a secret. Everyone in that freaking Jedi Council knows, except them, except Yoda. Like, everyone's like, there's a big group of them talking about it. All of them are bad guys now. Like, concealing this information, like making these backroom deals with each other to go do this and that for political. That's crazy. Fast forward past that terrible spot. We get to Kuthar. We're walking around with Wish.com, Ezra Miller and May, and talking about like just kind of amping her up, like you got to get this guy, you got to make sure this is the one you get without a weapon. And she explains, and this is where my brain melted. It's like, well, isn't it kind of like a test? Because like, if I go in there without a weapon, they won't kill me. I can't kill them because they won't try to kill me. They won't fight back. I'm like, what? Well, if you go in there and you put your hands around the Jedi's neck and try to strangle him and you refuse to stop, he will kill you. It's called survival. It's what Trinity wouldn't do in episode 1. Like, go back and watch episode 1 during that fight that blind people said looked awesome. Trinity never fights back. Like May's attacking her the whole time. All she does is just blocks, no fighting back, zero. And now you're telling me that if you don't attack a Jedi with a weapon, they won't defend themselves? This is crazy. Crazy. Fast forward to episode 2 a couple of weeks ago. Everyone, the defending thing, Durs specifically, the saving grace for Durs, who loves Star Wars. He's like, that episode was, Durs defends it all the time, loves most everything, says that episode was kind of weak. The only saving grace was we get a Jedi Wookiee. Can't wait to see that. That was a lot of people. You mentioned it, and then, they kill him off screen. Walk in, he's just dead. Like, it's crazy. Absolutely crazy. May walking with low rent Ezra Miller out of nowhere just decides on a whim, you know what? I don't want to kill this Jedi. My sister's alive. That changes everything. Like, you've known she's alive like for a while through the show now. But now that changes everything. You're going to go turn yourself into the Jedi Council, the ones you've sworn to kill since you were a kid because of what they did, because they took your sister away. They killed your entire people. They're cool with them now. No conversation with them. No conversation with your sister. Just you're cool with them. It is so terrible. Just on pure writing and execution alone, I don't know how this was ever made. I still have a hard time believing this is real. Like, Star Wars or not Star Wars, this as just a written piece of television is offensive to the rest of the written television out there. Esteban, what's happening? You mean there was the fighting in the awesome fight scene that started it all? Nope, one-sided. Go back and watch it. It's all about flashbacks. Mark Disney.
Yeah, they're going to have to do a hell of a lot of flashbacks to fix this thing.
Yeah. So what do you think?
They're going to have like Bob Newhart wake up and it was all a dream.
It was all a dream. Walked out of the shower.
Exactly.
All right, so let's speculate. So the master floats down from the trees and just lands on the ground and comes walking up slowly to Osha at the end and just turns on a lightsaber by Osha's head. The master looks exactly like I was clowning on 2 weeks ago with the helmet with the big smiley face with the teeth on it. Looks ridiculous. But Darth teeth. We're standing there for a while, just standing there. Then all of the Jedi that are there, they turn on their flashlights and they go running at the master, and the master just force pushes or thread pushes Osha away, then thread pushes the group of them, and it cuts off. So who are you thinking the master is? You think it's going to be Costco Ezra Miller? Do you think it's going to be one of the surviving witches? Do you think it's going to be Trinity herself? What are you thinking?
It's not going to be Ezra Miller, I don't think. I can't be Ezra Miller. I don't know. It's interesting. I mean, because you mentioned it could be the mama. Yeah,
the horny mom.
Yeah. Mother Kendall or something like that, whatever her name was.
I think her name was Laurel? Sister Who Gives a Shit.
Okay.
I'm sorry.
Yeah. Obviously, to your point, there is, unless all of these Jedi now die, it totally destroys the line from the original trilogy or the original prequels where they say, all the Jedi's are the Darth have been the Sith have been extinct for for millennium.
You remember who said that? The guy in the meeting talking about the Sith and this.
Right.
Oh, absolutely crazy.
And especially since this actually is supposed to happen around 100 years before the prequels. So he's going back 1,000 years when he says that in the prequels. But dude, you just saw one like 100 years ago.
Obviously for you, that's not a long time. He doesn't look young in this show.
And that's amazing because you were dead. You hadn't even been born yet.
It's absolutely wild. I haven't seen the 3rd or 4th episode, and I am refusing to watch the rest of it for the time being. I can't bring myself to watch it. I will probably watch it when I have the drive. Esteban, if I suffer, you got to suffer. Ezra would make it like the Palpatine story, so I'm saying it's him. Originally isn't their strong suit. Yeah, I think that's what they're attempting to be their red herring, if you know what I mean. Like these writers think they're smart. Just like when you're watching something that's like ridiculously predictable, but you can be like, oh, they think they're doing something right there. That's how I feel with this. Like with the whole episode 3, with the whole flashback to them being kids and the chanting and singing the power of many, like that was absolutely cringe. But when May, as a little kid, lit the little piece of paper on fire and lit the entire concrete building on fire with it within 2 seconds, I'm like, what? And then as soon as Saul gets a hold of Osha, they go running to the room, and the witches are just laying dead on the floor. Like they're not on fire, they're just laying there dead. Like how did they get there like that? Well, how'd they get in that state? It clearly wasn't the fire. There's plenty of
was there an explosion?
Not in that room.
Right. I was just
where the explosion was? It was in the room where May and Osha were at.
Okay.
But when they're trying, like, obviously Saul is the bad guy here. Obviously, like that's supposed to. He's played to be so nice, so he's got to be the bad guy.
Yeah, it definitely. I mean, it. In some ways, I almost refuse to give up hope that they can't somehow correct this in their storytelling for the rest of the season. But every moment that passes, I have less and less.
The show's having an inverse effect. Every single episode is worse than the one before on just like, I don't know, man. I don't know. I'm not going to not watch Star Wars shows.
Yeah, I mean, it's almost kind of like, it's like an accident. You just can't turn away,
Well, not even just that. Like I've loved Star Wars since I was a little kid.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, grew up with them, saw the prequels in the theaters. I've watched them more times than I can count. I absolutely love Star. I've invested in the franchise. I bought them on DVD. I had them on VHS. Bought them on DVD. Upgraded them to Blu-ray. Went back and rebought DVD sets. Just have the original cuts on disc, which George Lucas didn't know that they were going to hide those in the special features. I got mine.
So do I.
And, I'm not going to not want good Star Wars. And to be completely fair with Disney, they have put out good Star Wars. They are capable of it. They put out Rogue One. They put out Mandalorian Season 1, Mandalorian Season 2. So that they can do good Star Wars. So I think it's more important to be fair, none of this is important in the grand scheme of things. Like, it's not like I log off this and I sit up at night saying, oh, they done messed up Star Wars. No, Star Wars will be fine. Like, it's not going anywhere. They're just going to have to keep missing until they start landing. But I think it's important as a fan base, if you want better, you need to let them know you're not happy with this, and you do it for long enough, maybe they'll do something. Ultimately, I think the people that have opted out, canceled Disney, don't watch it, those are the ones doing the real work. But I don't have it in me. I can't cancel Disney. My wife won't let me. She said nope. She
doing some shitty things, but they were my childhood.
Yeah, she likes all the classic stuff they have on there.
Like the Aristocrat.
And then one day I went to Second and Charles, like, I'm just gonna go in here, I'm gonna buy all of her stuff she likes. And even getting like used Blu-ray copies of a lot of that stuff is so expensive.
$20 a piece.
Like on the lower end. And I'm like, I think we'll just keep Disney Plus.
Yeah.
We should cancel that.
Yeah, we talked about that. Paul said they're about to do a bundle with Disney, HBO, and Hulu. Like they're going to do a threesome.
Oh,
a
we
streaming
wait
threesome.
on that, cancel it all, and then add it back. The only thing that's going to suck is getting the kids' tablets hooked up to it.
Oh, yeah, we'll make Pop-Pop do that.
Yeah.
My kids would riot if I canceled Disney. Yeah, well, my kids aren't really like. What are they on these days?
They're more Netflix kids, but there are specific shows that we can only watch on Disney that they are.
Monkey has some of those. Fandom, like they've been on Paramount a lot too, because that has like Paw Patrol and Ninja Turtles. Yeah, dude, Paramount's a banger. Like I don't know how many people are sleeping on Paramount Plus, but that streaming service is a banger.
It has Sonic too, right? Knuckles.
Yeah, dude, Sonic and Knuckles and all that is on there. Hey, dude.
I know what you want. Come on, sir.
But yeah, the kids love Paramount.
And they get the really good South Park stuff.
Yeah, and it's a good one too. I was going to say for an all ages household. Like if you want to get something like for you to watch and then have stuff say for your kids to watch. They have all the Nickelodeon shows and stuff on there. It's just some really good stuff. just get all the classic stuff on VHS. My VHS player still works fine. We've got 3 of them here.
He charges me to speak to you.
He does. Andor was good. Can't we? Yeah, that's another one. Andor. That was another one that gets high praises. I haven't finished Andor, to be completely honest with people. I'm of the. There's 2 types of people: people that loved Andor and people that only watched the first 3 episodes. I'm in the latter, but I'm going to check it out. Season 2 is called Rogue One. Yeah. Yeah, Rogue One was so freaking good. It don't even make sense.
So excited. Tomorrow.
Is it swim day tomorrow?
No. Tomorrow. Well, for me, the kids.
Has a show called Evil on Paramount. It's a weird but awesome show. Not for kids. It has Mike Coulter in it. Have you heard of a show called Evil on Paramount?
Yeah,
I have heard of it.
Stuff like that.
Kyle doesn't do
I
scary
can
stuff,
listen to like true crime documentaries about like mass murderers,
which
but I
worries me.
cannot watch scary things.
Be Kind Rewind is a great movie. I know they mentioned VHS earlier, but it has Jack Black and Mos Def. It's really good.
I
Yeah.
listen to Bailey Sarian to go to sleep.
Is that a killer?
Murder, mystery, and makeup. She tells true,
Oh, yeah,
true
that's-
crime stories.
Yeah, she watches this girl on Facebook.
It's not on Facebook. It's on YouTube.
She has watches this girl on YouTube that'll just sit there and slowly put on makeup for 3 hours while she tells you a true crime story. She's like Mr. Ballin, but while
Really?
putting on makeup.
And fall asleep, but cannot watch a scary movie and successfully fall asleep.
Yeah, it's no good. No good. Why do women love true crime shows? Question from the chat.
I don't know.
There's a whole show about like women on the Investigation Discovery Channel. It's called Snapped.
Yeah, I used to watch that when I had cable at my mom's house.
I hide the knives at night.
Hey, Kyle.
Where did you see? What made you answer that?
No, Scotty asked.
Oh, I don't know why I like them. Hey,
Yeah, I gotta finish Andor. Like I gotta check it out. Yo, but the good news is, if the Acolyte wasn't so bad, I would have never caught up on House of Dragons when I did, because like I literally watched that. I'm like, I can't believe this. I need something different. I saw like an ad for House of Dragons. I'm like, oh yeah, we counter program House of Dragons. I need to get caught up on that. I'd only seen the first 2.5 episodes back in the day. Just never got back to it. And yo, it's amazing. It is amazing. Paul, you got anything else you want to touch on before we hit on some books?
I can't think of anything else.
Well, let's hit on some books, my man. This
Okay.
was a solid week. It wasn't a massive week, but it was a solid week. I got probably about 10 titles here.
I got half that many. I got 5.
Well, you go first.
Let's start with.
Yo, you're starting at the top, aren't you?
Mhm.
Yeah, Wonder Woman was phenomenal. I got the same cover, the A cover, featuring the whole crew on there.
Exactly. That was hysterical. The whole thing with the invisible jet.
Holy crap! Yeah, yeah.
And
it says,
when Donna accidentally presses the eject button.
yeah, that was funny. So the premise of this one is the Sovereign has had Wonder Woman in their clutches for a few issues now. They've been going through the checklist of ways to try to break her, to try to completely just break her. They've tried mental stuff, they've tried physical stuff. Now they're like, we're going to try her oldest nemesis, Cheetah. So they pretty much put Wonder Woman on an island which they've had Cheetah imprisoned on, like kind of like a free range prison where they haven't been feeding her or nothing, just driving her insane. And they drop Wonder Woman off there, and it's the entire book is a fight, like a savage fight between Wonder Woman and Cheetah, and is breaking down like the mentality between these two characters, and not just this iteration of Cheetah. That was the cool part. They touch on the different versions from Golden Age to current as well. Why she exists, like how they're so diametrically opposed, how most of the time your enemy is like a mirror image of yourself, like Bizarro or Reverse Flash, but how Cheetah is different in a sense that it's her nemesis, but isn't a mirror image of her. And all the while, her sisters are trying to get to her from Yara, Cassie, and Donna, and they have to go get the invisible jet to get to her. So there's a lot of fun antics between them and in the jet, like cutting back and forth between like this heavy story and this lighthearted stuff. And the fight ultimately gets to the point where they kind of see themselves in each other, kind of thing, realize they're both being a victim of the Sovereign in this moment, and they kind of get a moment of reprieve at the end by the time her sisters get there, and all is well. they couldn't best her, and the fight went on forever. Not just in the book, but I mean this fight went on for days and days. I think they said for weeks or something, right?
Yeah. Yeah, and I mean, and in the past, like Diana's invisible jet, you can kind of see the lines and everything of the jet. That's the way that they drew it. But here, you don't see it at all. So Cassie like walks right into it, slams her head into the side of the jet. Then they finally get into the jet and they can't find the buttons. So Donna says, "Oh, I think I found the button." And she hits the button and gets ejected out of the
Straight.
jet. But yeah, and it's funny because I mean they talk about Batman and the Joker, how one is chaos, one is order. They talk about
Superman
Lex
and
Luthor and
Brain
Superman.
Bone.
One is greed, one is compassion. And then he at one point they try to do the same with Diana and Cheetah, but they basically at the end they say these two women cannot just be boiled down to one thing like you can the men. And so it was just really kind of, I mean, the way Tom King has written the whole first arc has just been incredible.
Yeah, it's nuts. Absolutely nuts. Really enjoying it. Another one that I really enjoyed this week is getting better with every issue. Green Lantern War Journal, issue number 10 by Philip Kennedy Johnson. Did you read it?
I did.
Yes. What did you think?
Loved it. Love to see. I probably most loved the ending actually, where we finally, Guy Gardner is finally doing something that people would be proud of.
Yeah. So this ties all the way back into Action Comics War World, the epic saga that Philip Kennedy Johnson wrote, putting Superman back on the map, forefronting him at DC Comics, and is tying into the old gods. Before the new gods, Darkseid, Highfather, there were the old gods, specifically one named Orgrim that we dove into during the War World saga. What we're learning in this Green Lantern book is that this old god's reach and his death meant more and had repercussions across the cosmos, that his rage itself manifests into this Stark Star, and it's holding this entire part of the galaxy under its heel, and it wants John Stewart. He's been trapped over there. He's kind of combating with it and fighting with it and unable to escape. Meanwhile, like he pointed out, help is on the way, but fighting their way to get there. It was really cool seeing Lantern Shepherd is linked up with Guy Gardner now, and they are determined to go get John Stewart. Been saying it for a while. I want to see John Stewart get brought into the Green Lantern proper story. I don't know how many issues War Journal is slated for. It's listed still as ongoing if it has an end date. But it looks like this John Stewart saga has the potential now to move over and be an important player in absolute power, or deal with the United Planet situation that's corrupted and in control of the cosmos. So there's a lot of stuff happening on the cosmic side of DC Comics right now in both Green Lantern titles.
Yeah, I hope we see more. I hope that we see a lot more of actually Green Lantern Shepherd down the road. He's been a great character. Yeah, exactly. And it does say that the next issue is going to involve the Green Lantern Corps, so we're expecting to see a whole bunch more. So that should be good.
Yeah, I'm pumped. Super good. And that's what I got next. Let's go.
This is this was really kind of interesting. I really kind of like this.
What is it? Batman 149.
Batman 149. This is actually setting up not only the big anniversary issue next 150, but actually Wonder Woman and Batman and Superman, the next issues after what they've done will be crossovers with Absolute Power. But this was kind of fun in that Batman, Bruce Wayne, basically has his Robin, who is actually a clone of him as a young man. He actually has him, and he's trying to help him as he realizes that he actually is aging rapidly, very rapidly. But this was kind of he does some things. We see Bruce Wayne, the young Bruce, age all the way to the point where he dies by the end of the issue. But he does some things. He talks to, he helps. He goes back to Crime Alley because that's something that was in Zur-En-Ar's memory. So he goes back to Crime Alley to start. He actually has a discussion with Bruce about his hand and and everything. And then at one point, he actually, the young Bruce cuts off his own hand and puts it into like formaldehyde or whatever to kind of keep it, assuming that at some point Bruce may be able to attach his hand because it is really kind of Bruce's hand as well because he's a clone. So
and Yeah, that kind of upset me, to be honest with you, because one thing that I've had numerous people message me like since he lost his hand, like, "Hey, when did Bruce lose his hand?" Because they like jump in. I'm like, something they haven't really explored much. Like, no one
Right.
outside of like Bruce and his immediate family like are aware of it, know of it,
Right.
and I kind of like it. I kind of like it,
Mhm.
but it looks like we're about to be getting past the metal hand era of Batman.
Right. We find out that Zur-En-Arrh had billions of dollars, and so now Bruce again has billions of dollars. So that part has been. So it kind of did a whole. It kind of, in its own way, did a whole reset type of a thing in a lot of ways. Because although he doesn't go back to Wayne Manor, even though Vandal Savage offers him Wayne Manor and the Batcave below, he wants nothing to do with Vandal Savage. He actually destroys the bat signal on top of Gotham Police Station, and instead they buy this old dilapidated mansion in a part of Gotham City, and they name it Pennyworth Manor. And then Batman is also Bruce Wayne is going to buy the surrounding lots and put up, affordable housing and things like that. So he's doing a lot of different things. So, and again, and he has invited everyone to come, obviously except for Barbara and Dick Grayson, who are in Bloodhaven. But he's invited everyone to come and live at the manor if they want to. And he has supposedly some sort of plan for some sort of a bat cave as well. But he said that they'll get to that eventually.
Yeah, they said that it was important that they live inside the city they're going to protect and not on the outskirts of it.
Hmm.
Interesting stuff.
Yeah.
Interesting stuff. Also, interesting stuff was happening this week in Titans issue number 12 by Tom Taylor. Not my favorite read, but this issue was my favorite issue of the 12 that we've gotten so far. It was a finale to a two-part storyline where Amanda Waller and Tio Morrow took a Titans hopeful, a fan of theirs, and completely corrupted her, took her apart, rebuilt her as an android, and pointed her at the Titans and made her attack them. The fight was sad. Raven killed this poor creature. We don't know if she was still alive inside of it or not. They left that out in the air. The Titan responded by going to Tio Morrow and shutting him down and arresting him. So I don't know what kind of implications it might have further down the road in the event coming up or not, if any. But the Dark-Winged Angel, which is the whole Raven storyline where she's trapped inside the gym and her dark side is running her body, is kind of building up, where she actually, it ended with her confronting Nightwing saying, "I tried to psychically link all of us during the fight and your mind wasn't there. Where were you?" And we already know from previous issues, Nightwing's on tour and has created this little safety room inside of his mind where he can work out his thoughts and try to figure things out. So we'll see what happens with that.
The only other one that I have is part 2 of Tom Taylor's and Bruno Redondo's final arc on Nightwing. Nightwing number 115, part 2 of Fallen Grayson. Basically, for long story short, there is a fire that goes on at a benefit. It actually started at the end of the last issue, and it is actually set by Heartless, who then, once everyone leaves, Dick Grayson is the only one that's inside trying to save people. They pump in some gas that is not only will knock him out, but also will make him forget what has happened. Heartless then takes him. He They put him in an ambulance. They try to take his phone. He doesn't have a phone, but what he does happen to have on is his Nightwing mask. So we find out that the mayor, I think it is, no, not the mayor. Anyway, they now know that he's Dick Grayson. Heartless puts him in a Heartless mask. They throw him at the top of a building in Bloodhaven. He wakes up. He's being chased by the police. He gets shot through the shoulder. They jump on him. They pull off the mask, and now they think Heartless is actually Dick Grayson, and that's where the issue ends.
How many more issues do we have left of Nightwing?
We have 3 more before it's hand it off to someone else, or it just ends and whatever they decide to do with it.
They haven't announced a next issue or a new #1 or anything yet.
No, because the September solicitations is the one that just came out, and that's the last issue of Tom Taylor and Bruno Redondo.
It's definitely going to be a legendary run. This is going down in history books as his best well-known run for sure.
Yeah, I mean it's already won two Eisner Awards, so
And up for more this year.
Mm-hmm.
Yep, it's going to be sad to see it go. I haven't been following it, but I know a lot of people have. A lot of people are enjoying it. Did this come out this week? World's Finest?
I believe it did, but I didn't get it. It's come to my
Super cool.
shipment.
The fifth dimensional imps are still going, still waging a massive war. Jimmy has been selected by this big killer imp to be the champion of Earth due to his previous exploits through specifically the Silver Age. And it's really cool issue. It's really
Does
fun.
he become a giant turtle?
He becomes a lot of things.
Elastic?
He is given the power of Batmite basically to battle, and it's just really cool. It's a really fun issue. And also Incredible Hulk issue number 13. Guys, this is fantastic. He's in this magical dead realm trying to find this magical dead person who could potentially save his little sidekick companion who was turned into a totem with, like, she was killed. Like the totem is made out of her own flesh and bone. So Hulk's down there waging war with not only Banner, but everything down there trying to get to the person they need. And they get to the person only to be told that can be done, but you need to see the other guy, and the other guy's somewhere else. So they come out of it and they're back at Strange Academy. And we'll see where it goes from there. But I'll tell you one place it will go, and it's to the shitter because Nick Klein is not on the next issue. Wondering how many.
I was just going to ask you if Nick Klein was doing the art again.
No, man. And I normally never notice this stuff. I normally don't care one bit. You know, like the story carries this book all the same. But I turned the page, and it said in here in the next issue by Philip Kennedy Johnson and guest artist Danny Earls. But it gives you like, yeah, right. I tell you who it's not, Nick Klein. You know, it's not Joe Bennett.
Yeah, the famous Danny Earls.
I can't help but think like Joe Bennett banged out 50 issues. You know, he didn't have a problem. Like, what is happening here? Like, it sucks so bad. Like, dude, even if you would do like 6 on, 6 off, that's fine. But what is this 2 on, 3 off, 1 on, 2 off? Like, what is this crap? Like, there's no consistency to it, and it really is just jarring. But just thankfully, Philip Kennedy Johnson's writing it, and the story carries it. But it's just like, don't bring Danny Earls back though. Like, come on. No. You have to wait a second. Just a second. That was the last book right there. That's all I got for tonight. Paul, you got any more?
No, big week this week though. With we got House of Brainiac Part 4, Part 5. Sorry, Part 5, Part 6. We got Rook. We got Redcoat. We got Green Arrow. We got Absolute Power, Ground Zero. We got all sorts of stuff coming out.
New Zatanna series.
Yeah. It is
so many massive
huge week.
Massive.
DC Comics Deep Dive is back this week.
Tomorrow morning, 10 a.m. on
10 a.m.
2018 YouTube channel. You can hit the link in the description. Just hit that. Go subscribe him up. Don't forget, we also do Guess That Key over there.
Correct. Not this week, though. We're a week off. But in a week from Wednesday, we will have Mr. Burke Family 54 Comics.
Hey!
And we will have David from Mark Spector Comics.
No, Scarlet? I think Scarlet came out the previous week. Destro came out this week. I read that. That was fantastic. I don't even know where that is, but that was great. Scarlet artwork sucked, but the book was fine. But yeah, I got tons of stuff available for channel members right now to watch. If you hit the member community tab, wherever it's out on the channel. But my release schedule is gonna be a little different. I got the Joe Fest video coming out tomorrow. My Heroes Con Mega Haul, where you see all the keys and grails and stuff I picked up, and then there's content beyond that. Still have the Funko Pop trivia from Heroes Con that'll be coming out later. Just all kinds of content. I'm backed up on content, but I'm going to keep my release schedule the same. So if you're a channel member, check it out. If you're not a channel member, hit that join button to get access to it all ahead of time. So that's going to be it for tonight. Appreciate everybody coming. Paul, thank you as always.
Bye, Paul.
You're welcome. Thank you. Bye. Bye, Kyle.
And until next time, as always, we are Legion.